Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Carolina constitutional conflict. Democrats and Republicans are loading their guns for what promises to be a very heated debate over the next year, now that the state will host a referendum in May on whether or not to ban homosexual marriage in its constitution. Republicans say it is a moral issue, not a political one, while Democrats push aside moral reasoning, saying the ban would keep homosexuals, a minority, from improving business in the state. The Christian Science Monitor says the vote will not be a slam dunk for Republicans, as 61% of North Carolinians say that gay marriage should remain illegal, but 55% say they would vote against a constitutional amendment on the issue. The referendum is slated to take place in May, and some are saying this could be a primer for the 2012 presidential election in a state that Obama was only able to take by 13,000 votes. The new buzz in population propaganda. In a world where playing God with human life has become the norm, a pharmaceutical company is trying to promote fertility treatments with a Facebook campaign called "The Early Bird Gets the Sperm." Fox News reports the object of the campaign is to erase the moral stigma attached to fertility treatments, which features a rap music video in which a bird and a bee talk about their troubles conceiving, encouraging couples to visit a fertility expert. The site describes the couple as having, quote, hit the snooze button on their biological clocks as they work on finishing their 5-year plan, which includes career, travel, buying a house, and finally, growing up, end quote. This is not the first mascot-type campaign to promote population control, one of the most recent being Pillarmina, the dancing contraceptive pill package. Divorce drop. Breaking news for the marriage front, the divorce rate has dropped to almost the same rate as the early 60s. But a new study says the determining factor could be that there are simply fewer marriages. The report, done at the University of Virginia by the National Marriage Project and the Institute for American Values, says 24% of children in America are being born to cohabiting couples, and a further 20% of children are part of a cohabiting household at some point during their growing up years. National Review editor Rich Lowry, who calls the trend the cohabitation revolution, says children in cohabiting households, quote, lag behind children in intact married families on key social indicators and are not much better off than children in single-parent families, end quote. The study also says children in cohabiting households see more conflict and violence and are prone to lower levels of commitment and satisfaction. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
Gender bender. The European Union is cracking down on gender-selective abortions, drawing much criticism after passing a draft resolution that would forbid parents from knowing the sex of their child until birth. The European Council's proposal specifically targets countries under former Soviet control, like Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Albania, where boys significantly outnumber girls. The London Telegraph reports the draft passed on Friday, and although the Council does not have the power to force European states to accept the law, is very effective at pushing its agenda through conventions and treaties. Parents are outraged over the draft, and many complain they should not be denied access to modern technological capabilities because they want to choose the gender of their children. Battle on Broadway. The homosexual agenda is taking center stage in the Big Apple. A group of plays written by homosexual activists will be strutting their stuff on the Great White Way in an effort to destroy traditional marriage and raise money for so-called marriage equality. The Associated Press says the series, called Standing on Ceremony, The Gay Marriage Plays, will be seen at the Minetta Lane Theater starting in October. The show features 8 plays by different playwrights, recently featured on stages in Los Angeles. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And be sure to check out The Vortex today, where Michael talks about defining Catholicism. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tell all your friends about us. And as always, God bless.